Hey everybody, what's up? Mike here. Just wanted to check in. It's Saturday. It's my day off work. Just kind of having a hot and sweaty, nasty day. A little bit in my own head today. I just been feeling the weight of lonely, and not just the weight of me. It feels like I'm bearing the load of every version of me across the multiverse, across reality. It's kind of an interesting feeling, to be honest. I don't know if all the other versions of me get to feel it too, or if it's just me getting to shoulder it for everybody. It could be that. I'm not sure. It's almost like an Atlas-y kind of situation, except way bigger than anything Atlas had on his shoulders. So, stop making when I do this. So, in the fun brain fog of all of that, I have been thinking about younger me and the things I expected to do in life, to achieve in life, the things I wanted to do, the things I wanted to see, and even the person that I wanted to be or thought I would be. And I feel like I let me down. It's like all the promises that were made to me by me, I feel like I broke them all. So I kind of wanted to address some of that and think of it's almost going to be like a therapy kind of thing. But I wrote a letter to me of the past, younger me, kid me. And I just kind of wanted to get a few things out into the universe to air my thoughts on the subject. Because nothing, it's got to be said, nothing has turned out the way that younger me thought it would, or would have even planned it. Bad thing or not bad thing, it is what it is. So I just kind of wanted to go ahead and usually I'm off the cuff with these things, but this I wanted to put down and type it out. And that way I get everything right and say a few words to young Mike. It's probably not as interesting as young Sheldon is. For any of you who watched that, honestly, I couldn't. God, too many Sheldon themed spin-offs. Too much. Stop, guys. Seriously. Okay. So, without further ado, a letter to young Mike. Dear Mike, I've been meaning to write this for a long time. I owe you an apology. I broke every promise that I ever made to you. Not all at once, mind you. And not because I stopped caring. Certainly not because you weren't worth keeping them for. Life has just happened over the years in ways that you couldn't have foreseen because you were just a kid. Even I have trouble foreseeing them now as an adult. We had big plans though, didn't we? Huge plans. We were going to build things. We were going to learn everything. We were going to change the world. We were going to stay curious forever. We were going to be brave. We were going to make people laugh. We were going to ask impossible questions and never stop wondering how things worked. We were going to become someone that we would be proud of. Maybe other people can relate to this. We were considered smart once. We were told we had potential. It's a compliment. It's even true. Everybody has potential, including us. But sometimes that feeling of potential, that expectation of doing something with that potential, can feel like a debt, can feel like something that you owe everybody. It can feel like an anchor chained around your ankle, dragging you down. People can stop seeing you for who you are. They just see your potential. Oh, he's so smart. He's going to be a scientist someday. He's going to cure cancer. He's going to finally solve that cold fusion thing everybody keeps talking about. And jetpacks. Oh, they're definitely coming. This is the guy. This kid is going to be the one to do it. Right? Sure. Expectations pile up. They stack and stack. It's the stack of things that never falls over. And every time you make a mistake, it starts to feel like proof that you weren't as smart as everyone thought you were. What's the first thing that happens when you're smart? People expect you to prove it. People challenge it. People want to prove that you're not. People want to be smarter than you. But every time you make a mistake, it's an opportunity to rub it in, to hold it in your face. Look, see, you're not as smart as you thought you were. And you start to become, I guess, a little fearful, a little paranoid even, afraid to make a mistake because nobody sees you anymore. People just see your mistakes. Oh, he's not perfect. He's not as smart as we thought he was because he messed up. Look at that. He was wrong about something. He made a poor decision. And it becomes just a daily struggle, a daily effort just to not mess up and let everybody down. Even more than that, just to not look like the failure that you feel like they all think you are. So after a while, I got to where I just felt like I wasn't good enough to succeed. I made mistakes. I became less concerned with the mistakes. It's going to happen anyway. It's too high a standard to hold myself to. Everybody has too high of expectations for me. I'm never going to live up to what everybody else thinks I'm going to do, or who everybody else seems to think I am. I'm not that person. I can't be that person. And it's just going to let everybody down. I spent years feeling too smart to make mistakes. And when you have that idea, that image of yourself, you wonder, if you're too smart to make mistakes, then why do you keep making so many mistakes? There's no answer to that question. And it's very isolating. It's a very lonely place to live, to exist in this netherworld of too smart to fail, and too laden with potential to not succeed. So somewhere along the way, I stopped chasing my own expectations and started chasing everyone else's. I started chasing other people's expectations, started chasing other people's dreams to some extent. To another extent, I just let go of my own dreams and just chased mediocrity. Went to college, wanted to be a DJ for a while, good stuff right there. Didn't finish graduating college, had to work, got a job, got married real young. Bad decision. Can't tell me otherwise. Everybody did. Don't listen. Because again, smarter than everybody else. And that didn't last long. And did a lot more drinking than I should have. And had bad relationships with people that I shouldn't have. Jobs never quite fell into focus. Personal pride never quite developed. Just didn't really like who I was anymore. It didn't really seem to matter because nobody knew who I was anyway. So why did it matter if I tried to be that person or not? Nobody was going to approve of me anyway. Chasing those expectations is a race that nobody wins. I wanted approval. I wanted approval from parents. I wanted approval from teachers, bosses. I wanted approval from God. It's like, I'm letting him down too. Everybody. It's pretty heavy. I wanted approval from my dad. From him, maybe most of all, as far as people. God's high on the list too, but yeah. But I wanted approval from him and from a whole bunch of other people who didn't know who I was. Barely knew me. Most of them still don't know me. And, Dad, I always felt like he loved me. He's my dad. I never felt like he liked me very much, even as a kid. I was a sensitive kid. I'd cry now and then something was wrong or got hurt or whatever. Got a whole bunch of, if you need a reason to cry, I'll give you one kind of stuff. So wasn't allowed to express what I felt, wasn't allowed to be myself per se. I'm really not sure anybody else really saw it. I didn't know any different. But I never felt then like he liked who I was, even as a kid. Like I was weaker than he wanted me to be. Growing up, it didn't get any better. I didn't become the strong, manly, masculine person that he always seemed like he wanted me to be. I can't even say I'm that person now. Whatever he would be happy with. Now, whether he really felt that way or not, I don't know for sure. That's just what I always thought. That's what I always got from him. Maybe I was wrong about that. I can only guess. I can only tell you what it felt like from my perspective. The irony being that, me and all of us kids were adopted, so it's kind of funny that he got to choose his son that, again, in my opinion, he was just never cared for very much. Again, he loved me because I was his son, but we both know that there's a difference between liking somebody and loving somebody. So, I believe it or not, I saw the irony in that. It's almost funny, like a joke, like the comedian from Watchmen kind of joke, his kind of joke. So yeah, eventually you get tired of it. You get tired of trying to earn that approval that never comes. You get tired of reaching for something that you just can't reach. You don't stop caring, but you get tired of letting yourself down on top of letting everyone else down. So you compromise. You make bad decisions. Some people turn to drugs. Can't say I didn't do a few of those. Alcohol. I definitely drank a lot. Bad relationships, bad choices, bad jobs, bad situations. You name it, I did it. I mean, there's limits to that, obviously, but just for dramatic effect, let's say I dabbled in many, many different pits of despair, and just leave it that way. Excuses for why I wasn't the person that I was supposed to be, that person who had potential that was never realized. Why didn't I do it? I should have. But because it didn't, that makes me a bigger failure as well. It's like a compounding, self-deprecating, view of yourself. And it was everybody else's fault that I wasn't the person who I was supposed to be. And because I was never going to be that person, it didn't matter if I tried or not. To me, part of that's the anxiety, part of that's the built-in depression, and all of that stuff. You just really begin to hate yourself. And some people have a hard time understanding what it's like to hate yourself. And I'm glad for that, because it's not a fun feeling to hate yourself, to look at yourself in the mirror and think, God damn it, I'm such an anchor on the universe. I'm such a weight to everybody around me. And they'd be better off. So that's kind of where I ended up. But I survived. Somehow. Maybe it's out of stubbornness. Maybe it's out of spite to the universe. Whatever. It doesn't really matter why. It just matters that I did. So here I am. So I need to say something that is important. Something that you need to know. And it took me a lot of years to figure it out. Surviving is not failing. Paying bills matters. I didn't have a place to stay for a bit. I've been in lots of, like I said, poor situations. I did what I could for others. I protected myself when I had to. Had a child. Also bad relationship. But, that was my firstborn. That was Nevaeh. That changed things too. Family comes first now. And she taught me that. To have somebody who is this perfect small thing, this tiny person who is everything. And you would do everything for that person. Sometimes that's compromising. Sometimes that's taking the L in the short term to move forward. And I started to learn that finally. Life threw a bunch of punches at us, for sure. Life hits hard. Sometimes you can dodge it, sometimes you just take it. Sometimes you get to punch back. And after, there were some harrowing adventures with her parent. Back and forth. She got into some drugs, went to jail, went to prison. Lots of back and forth stuff there. Again, some more bad choices. I was still having to relearn how to be, how to try and move forward. And up to then, jobs were kind of secondary. Jobs were fleeting sometimes because I just couldn't stick things out. And, Not all the choices were easy. Not all the situations were easy. Not all of the positions I ended up in were easy. And some of the choices I had to make hurt. Some of the goals I had to give up were painful to give up. Some of those failures were difficult. At some point, I learned that it's not about the goals, the achievements you fail to reach. It's about that you tried to reach them. It's the attempt. I say it all the time these days. It's the journey. You know, things I didn't do. I didn't read. I didn't really create a whole lot like I wanted to. I didn't solve that cold fusion thing. Sorry, world, no free energy. Jetpack, still pending. And maybe the hardest part of the whole thing was when I realized, hey, I let me down. Mike, I let you down. And there's no way I can undo any of that. But what's done is done. I can apologize for it. So, I'm sorry that I let you down. I'm sorry that I stopped believing that we could reach our potential. I'm sorry I stopped believing we had potential. Or that we were worthy to have good things. I'm sorry about all of that. I worried too much about trying to fit into the world. I spent too much time punishing myself for not being who everybody thought I should be. And regret's a hard word to use because the road was hard. Yes, it's been a long road. Getting from there to here. Sorry, Star Trek Enterprise theme song haters. You can suck it because it's a good song. Sorry. But the hardest part of the whole journey, the whole experience was not the breaking the promises. It was pretending that I didn't do it. It took me years to see it and even more years to admit it to myself. Hey, I let myself down and I never deserved that. And for that, I'm truly sorry. Now, where I am now. So, I finally met somebody worth meeting who sees me for who I am, not just for who I can be. Who is involved in helping me be who I can be, not just who I can be, who I want to be. And that's the big difference. It's my expectations, not anybody else's. I had 2 more kids. I have a great family. I have a great job. Most of the time, it's a great job. It's not what I want to do forever, but it pays the bills. And I've learned, I think, how to be a husband, how to be a father, how to be a reasonable person who is honest with myself and honest with other people. And I feel like that's the best I can do. And that's the best any of us can do. And it's kind of a huge realization just to have that epiphany, that mind-blowing moment when I've realized in starting this emotional honesty project, this journey that I'm on, and I'll always be on, that it's not about the destination. It is the journey. There's no such thing as this magical place where you end up, where all of a sudden all your dreams have come true and somebody says, what are you going to do now that you've saved the girl, slain the dragon, and, everything is done. What are you going to do now? And you're like, I don't know. Guess I'm going to Disneyland. Remember those? That's what the athletes would always say. There's no moment like that. It's a process. You're always growing. You're always changing. You're always making decisions. And you have to be honest with yourself about those decisions. And why you make them, why they didn't work. If they were bad decisions, why were they bad? Why'd you make those bad choices? And emotional honesty has forced me to face the fact that I let you down, that I let me down. And I'm not saying it's okay, but you know what? We all do it, and I'm apologizing for it. And you deserved better. So the most I can do now is give you what you deserved back then. Some honesty. And maybe I didn't turn into who we thought we would be. Maybe it's been a really bumpy road getting here. But the other side to that is we've learned, because of all the things that we've done, all the choices that we've made, have made you and me this person. They've made us who we are. And I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like we are a good person. We don't always make the right choices, but we always try. And we try to be honest, and we try to do better. And we try to live the best life that we can. And you know what? We'll maybe never be successful 100% at everything we do. That's okay. And, we finally have realized that that is okay. And I want you to know that if there's nobody else in this world that does, I see you, and I know who you are, and I understand you. And you were pretty awesome. And I am proud to have had the privilege of being you once. Because I think it's the best. It was the best thing that I could have done was starting as you. I think you would love that we have great kids. My kids are awesome. They're just like me, maybe a little too much sometimes. They're funny because we are obviously amazing comedians. We're hilarious. Wrote a couple of books, never saw that coming. Doing this, recording myself talking into a camera, never saw that coming. Tinker with robots, maybe saw that coming. But creative, still love Star Trek. AI is a thing, which is weird. If you have any, if this message somehow ever manages to travel back to you in the past, invest in Apple. That's all, all I'm saying. Greatest sports almanac. Enough said. So maybe I'm not the person that you dreamed of being one day. How could you? Because all of this is a mess. Came out of a mess, will probably always be a mess. But you know what? I'm doing okay. And that's really all I feel like any of us can ever ask for. And you know what? We're not done. We are not done. We're just getting started. Because there's never an end. It's all a new beginning. New beginnings, new beginnings. What's going to be next? I don't know. And that's the beauty. I don't know. Because life is a roller coaster. And by God, even if it becomes too much sometimes, all you can do is lean your head over the side, puke, and just keep going. That's life sometimes. Don't walk under the roller coaster, just stay on it. And you know what? Maybe you would be proud of the person that you got to become. maybe you'd wonder why it took so long to get here. I think you know the answer to that, because we don't listen and we have to do things the hard way. And our kids are the same way. So that's on you. I blame you for that, buddy. But maybe you would also wonder why I forgot about you for so long. And the truth is, you just really never notice the changes over time until one day you wake up and you look around and say, where the hell am I? So I'm going to make a promise to you and to me. I may never be the person that you imagined that you and I would be, because life doesn't work that way. But what I can promise you is that I can keep becoming a person that you could believe in, that you would still believe in. I'm going to keep asking questions. I'm going to keep creating. I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to laugh more. I laugh a lot, and it's the best. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to make my fake laugh even louder and more obnoxious. It's an art form. I'm going to keep pronouncing things that the kids are interested in wrong on purpose just to irritate them, because that's my joy as a father. And when I make mistakes, first, I'm going to keep making them. And second, I'm going to own them. And the main thing I'm going to promise is that I'm going to stop apologizing for who I am and for the things that I love. So, final thought, I guess, is that I remember you, Mike. And I believe in you. And on some level, I always believed in you, even if nobody else did. And I'm sorry that I forgot about you all these years. But I promise I'll never do it again. Love always, Future Mike. P.S. Sorry about the hairline. Sorry about the face. But you know what? Hey, we got a good beard out of it. The beard's good. Beards are very in right now. So take comfort in that. It took it a while to come in, I know. And take comfort in the fact that and take comfort in the fact that we have more hair than your twin brother does. Sorry, Chris. So that's all I have for today. I wonder what postage is like for sending a letter back, 35, 40 years. Is that still like a 37-cent stamp? I don't even know how much a stamp is these days, but okay. It's all I have for this week. Maybe it's a little heavy. Maybe it'll do some good for some of you out there. Don't forget to come over and join us in the Patreon for the Grounds Crew, where we can do a deep dive into this and all things waxing deep and philosophical. Other things are deep besides the bull crap. So come join us over there. There's no paid tiers. It's all free because you know what? Helping each other out is not for profit. So come on over. If you like what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with somebody who might need to hear it. Okay? And until next time, remember, keep moving forward, guys. And if you fall forward. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.